Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. So guys, I'm going to quickly read a few of the queries which my students were having. Sir, what we can do to improve our marks in reading? Okay. Second doubt is, sir, every time I try to attempt heading questions, I am not able to solve it. I don't know why. Okay. Third question is, sir, I am not able to solve a passage in 20 minutes. Please share some tips and tricks. Okay. Fourth question, sir, I have problem in true false questions. Can you please explain and guide me how I can solve them? Okay. Fifth is, sir, can you tell me how to attempt fill in the blank questions? So can you make a video on reading tips and tricks? Okay, that's it for now. So in this video, I'm going to show you a few of the tips and the tricks which definitely is going to be helpful for you to increase and boost your marks. If you are scoring 18 or 20 or 25 or even 30 marks in mocks, so definitely after this only video, you would be able to score more than 35 marks. More than 35 marks means more than 8 bands, and for some students it is their dream band, right? So without wasting any time, let's just get started. We will understand from the scratch itself that okay, these are the tips and tricks which we are going to perceive and learn from the cert, and afterwards we are going to apply the same. So let's just get started. I am going to attempt one paragraph in front of you and I will try to solve that passage, right? So what you have to do is, some students start reading passage. You don't have to do the same. First of all, always go through the questions, right? What the question is saying, and then come to the paragraph. And this trick I am going to use here. Second is, if the topic is about either true false or filling the blanks, if it is a history paragraph, it is a description paragraph, don't do all the things, right? Don't read all the paragraph. You are not a scientist here who will do research on the paper. No, you have to apply skimming and scanning method. Basically, skimming and scanning method means you have to focus on the keywords and try to find that keywords in your passage. The moment you will be able to find that particular keyword, the answer will be in front of you. Second is conclusion method. What you can do in the conclusion method is rely on the information what the author has said in the passage, try to conclude it in one line, and then that would be your answer. So that is the only tip as of for now. Let's just see how we can do such kind of things. Okay, so this is a paragraph based on boobies. Okay, so we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I have 7 paragraphs. Okay, so I have started this from 3 minutes onwards. Okay, so the question 1 to 6 has 7 paragraphs and I have to match the list of the headings. Okay, so quickly go through the headings. Okay, so the first is hatching the chicks. Hatching the chicks is the keyword. Second is feeding habit is the keyword. Third is folding wings is the keyword. Then rearing the young is a keyword. Classification is a keyword. Diving for seafood is a keyword. Surviving mechanism is a keyword. Mating and breeding is a keyword, and boobies name origin is a keyword. So you have to quickly memorize these 9 keywords: hatching the chicks, feeding habit, folding wings, rearing the young, classification of boobies, diving for seafood, surviving mechanism, mating and breeding, origin of the boobies name. So in 1 minute, I read the question, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to read all the passages. Always try to read from the A paragraph, right? Quickly, I am not going to read all the things, right? There are few things in my mind and I'm just going to use skimming and scanning method. Okay, this is tropical and subtropical. Okay, this is something about the characteristics of long wings, this line, so you have to keep this in mind. Streamlined bodies and and where was I? Okay, and plunge into the water from as high as 80 feet. Okay, so the main theme of this passage is about diving characteristics, how they dive in the water, and this is a height. Okay, for 12 to 8 years. So this and this. Okay, so the answer, it has to be something related to the diving, because splash is there, height is there, and the characteristics are also mentioned in the paragraph. So the answer is unusual way of hatching the chicks. No, this is not answer. This is also not the answer. Folding wings for purpose is not also the answer. This is also not the answer. Classification of boobies is also not the answer. Diving for seafood is the answer. So we have find one answer. First answer is 6. Okay. Second paragraph. There are three varieties of Galapagos. I don't know how to pronounce it, but okay, there are three varieties: blue-footed, red-footed, and the masked boobies. Okay, members of the same family are not in different behavior. Okay, blue-footed, red-footed. Okay, so clearly, this paragraph is about the characteristics. From there to island, the passage is related to the characteristics and different classification. Okay, all catch fish in a similar manner. No, 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 no. Okay, so the answer is classification. Do we have classification somewhere? Here is the answer. Why? Because the author categorized the boobies bird in three categories, and surely that has to be the answer. Okay, quickly move to the third passage. Passage 3. Although it is unknown where the name booby remained. Okay, okay. So in the first three lines, author is saying about where that name came from, right? Okay. So either answer can be either origin, but I will keep another things in mind as well. Let's just quickly read. The blue-footed booby is extremely vulnerable. Okay. Okay. I think it is something related to the history and origin. Let's just quickly move. Yes. Paragraph C is origin of the booby's name. Good. So paragraph D, quickly move. Okay. Sky pointing is a word. It means that they move towards the sky. Okay. And also something related to the mating. Okay. The next building is also a keyword here. When the female is ready to lay her eggs, they scrape the existing nest away. So she can nest on exposed ground, sun-baked island from the boobies breeding grounds. This passage is related to hatching, mating, eggs, right? Breeding. So let's just quickly. Do we have something unusual way of hatching the chicks? No. Yes, mating and breeding is the answer, because he didn't talk about unusual ways. He didn't talk about this. He just said that, okay, how eggs are being laid. So the answer is mating and breeding. Let's just quickly move to the another paragraph. After mating, two or three eggs are laid in a shallow depression on flat or gently sloping ground. Both male and female takes turns in incubating the eggs. Okay. Okay. Incubation is a unique word here, and also he is telling in very detail. He's giving us the description of how this process happens, how this breeding and mating happens, right? That's it. So the answer, it has to be some unusual ways, right? So here is the answer: unusual ways of hatching the chicks, and that unusual way is incubation. Fifth, after hatching, the male plays a major role in bringing fish home. Okay, he can bring them. Okay, okay. The reason is that male has a longer tail than a female in relation to his body size, which makes him able to execute shallower dives and to feed closer to shore. Okay, so the author is emphasizing on the properties of male and female, and then he has distinguished by saying that factor that okay, there are few things which only male can do and not female here. And the female takes the greater part as the time process. Sooner or later they need to feed the youngs. Sooner and later they need to feed the young. They need to feed the young because greater than the need to protect them, and both adults must fish to provide enough. So they are talking about being as a parents, being as adults, what they do for their child, for the young ones. So definitely that has to be the answer. Yes, here is the answer, reading the young. Okay. When times are good, the parents may successfully pledge all three chicks. They may still lay as many eggs, yet only operate. Okay. The parents feed the larger chick first. If food is scarce, the firstborn will get more food. Okay. It optimizes the reproduction capacity of the blue fruit. Okay. So here it is important. The problem is usually solved by somewhat called lowest standing system of opportunity sibling murder. So they are saying about what they do with their young ones. They murder them, right? And why do they do so? In the further paragraph, this has been described. Let's just quickly move. I have less time. Okay, so I am asking you, should this has to be the answer? Unusual way? No. This has to be the answer? Feeding habit of the rat? No, it was not described. Folding wigs was also not described. Rearing the young was also not in the paragraph. Classification of boobies was also not in the paragraph. Diving for seafood was also not in the paragraph. Surviving mechanism during the food shortage period is the answer. Why? Because they said that due to the shortage of the food, they sometimes even murdered their child. So that has to be the answer. Quickly move to the other questions. We have done 6 questions so far. Boobies are afraid of human approaching. This is true false, right? Female boobies eat more than the male ones. When there is not sufficient food, the larger chicks will be fed at the expense of survival of its smaller mates. Okay. Okay, so this is saying that boobies are afraid of human approaching. Female boobies eat more than male ones. When there is not sufficient food, the large chicks will be fed at the expense of the survival of its smaller mates. Okay, so these 3 questions I have to keep in my mind. Let's read another questions as well. Okay, so this paragraph is talking about the courtship of blue-footed booby, consisting of the male flaunting his blue foot and dancing to impress the female during the dance. Okay, so this paragraph is talking about the dance and the male will spread his wings. Okay. Also about the incubation, incubate the eggs. So that was only in the 4th paragraph, I think. So I will go there directly. And in the meantime, I have to keep this, okay, that this paragraph was for the from 4th paragraph. And also 3 questions. Boobies are afraid of human approaching. Female boobies eat more than male ones. When there is not sufficient food, the larger chicks will be fed at the expense of the survival of its smaller mates. I think it is already true because in the last paragraph we did see that okay, they do so for the survival. So I think I am doing or keeping 2 options for the ninth one. I have only 7th, 8th, and 10th to 13 question to attempt as of for now. Quickly do it. Okay. So this paragraph I don't want to read the same. Okay. The reason is that male has a longer tail than the female in relation to his body size. This is the answer. See, the reason is that male has a longer tail than the female in relation to his body size, which makes him able to execute shallow dives and feed. So in this paragraph, the author didn't say that, he didn't say that, okay, whether female boobies they eat more or not. Only the description about the body was given. So I think the answer is not given for the eighth. Here he is talking about the blue-footed blue, okay. High above the ground, plus he will raise his flag towards the sky, pointing to try to win his mate over. And what was the question? During the dance, the male will spread his leg and stamp his feet on the ground with his bills. So the answer is sky pointing for 10th, okay. After meeting the boobies, unusual dimension continues with ritual dash, okay. Okay, X beneath their dash and dash contain dash, okay. The female after mating another ritual comes. Okay, so here is the author is talking about the ritual. Another ritual occurs, nest building. So here is the answer, next building, okay. When the female is ideal, okay, okay. After mating two or three eggs are laid in a shallow depression on flat or gently sloping ground, both male and female take turns into incubating. Unlike blood patches, area of the eggs during incubation. Right. It uses its broad. Here is the answer. What they do is during incubation, to warm the eggs during incubation, instead it uses the its broad webbed feet, which have larger number of prominent blood vessels. Okay. That's it. So I have to keep this point in mind: incubating bird, blood vessels, incubation, broad webbed feet, and incubating the eggs. Let's just quickly go through the questions. Beneath their webbed feet, right, which contain dash to transmit the heat. I think it was something related to the blood vessels. I am not so sure. Yes, which have larger number of prominent blood vessels to transmit heat essential for incubation. So the one question is pending as if for now. Boobies are afraid of human approaching. Okay. You don't need to read this paragraph again. You don't need to read this paragraph again as well. You don't need to put it in both as much. Okay. E paragraph and D paragraph we have already read. The blue-footed booby is extremely vulnerable to human visitors because it doesn't appear to fear them. Therefore, these birds received such name for the clumsiness on the land in which they were easily captured, killed, and eaten by humans. So I think that was the only thing which the author asked. What did he ask? Boobies are afraid of human approaching? No, they are not. So the answer is false, right? So okay, so we started at 3 and I ended at 19. So I attempted all the questions in 16 minutes, and definitely when you will practice, you would be also able to solve the questions even in 15 to 16 minutes, right? And then for the remaining 4 or 5 minutes, you can go revise your questions. You can check, okay, whether we have missed out any information or not. So if you like this video, please like, and I will also make more videos on the reading tips and tricks how you can boost your score. Thank you, and bye as if for now. If you do have any more doubts, please write in the comment section. Thank you.